And we're live. Welcome, guys, tonight to a Friday night discussion on the Bobby Legs channel. And I'd like to thank my friends for joining us tonight. And we'll just do a round robin here. And guys, I'll just point to you or call you out and tell us what you're wearing. So, Amin, thanks for joining on this late, last minute stream. I seem to always do this every once in a while, right? So Amin, how you doing today, man? And
good, Rob.
On rest?
Thanks for having me. I have my Octo Finissimo.
Excellent.
Yep.
And Colin at Winding Watches. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. What am I wearing? I'm double wristing, but I'm only going to show one for now. So I got the GMT Master Pepsi.
Very, very nice. Joe, buddy, what you got something on? I'm thinking you're wearing something pretty good right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Had on the I'm sorry. My lighting is every time I do this. I'm sorry. So this is a regulator that came in today, the Silberstein regulator.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Very, very nice. And I'm also wearing a piece that came in today, and that is let's see if I can get it good. Yeah, my light's terrible too. But this is the Guinand Series 40 Klassik chronograph. Got that in today. Was waiting for a couple of days. It was stuck in customs. A little shorter period of time than with you, Joe.
Yeah, you must have done something right. I was 13 days in quarantine.
But the customs, it wasn't so bad. I mean, it was ended up being like $39 that I paid. But I guess the higher price point you go, the higher the tax are. And so, basically this leads us to what we're here today. Where, Colin, Joe, and I all received new additions to our collections today. And Colin Menza, right? But it's still a tool. It's a tool watch, man. It really is. And so what? Why don't we lead off with you, Colin?
Maybe the ultimate tool watch for this day and age.
Yeah. So I actually see this more as a piece of technology. And disclaimer. My work has some benefits where basically I got this for very little money, but I got myself the new Apple Watch Series 6. This is my first Apple Watch ever. I am a mechanical watch guy, so that's why I'm actually double wristing. Really, the only way I'm going to wear this thing is if I double wrist, but I think I need to wear it often to get all the benefits from it.
Right.
I do. So far, it looks really cool. It's got awesome tech in it. It takes your blood oxygen levels, ECG, tracks all your workouts, heart rate. It does everything. I'm a bit of a tech geek, honestly, and I'm pretty addicted to my iPhone, to tell you the truth, with my Dibathune background. So this is hopefully gonna be good. I need to lose some poundage, actually, so I'm hoping that this will help me do that. And so far, so good.
So I noticed that you're wearing it on your left wrist.
No, it's actually on my right.
I missed.
Yeah, it's probably a mirror. It's probably mirrored.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So I did have it on my left pretty much all night up until about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Only because I am right-handed. So to actually use it, it's still probably a little easier with my with it like this. So far it looks pretty cool. If I don't like it, I'll just give it to my wife.
So one word of caution about that is that I'm also right-handed, and I've tried wearing them the way you described. And I think the most practical reason to wear our nice wristwatches on the left hand is that we don't bang them into stuff as much, right?
Yeah.
As a right-handed person, if you put a really nice watch on your right wrist, it's a very short matter of time before you whack it into something, and I'm sure you'd much rather gouge your partially paid for Apple Watch than your Pepsi GMT Master.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And as a second thing, so I've been buying up all kinds of little crappy watches, but I got one more for you. I got this I think last week. So I bought. I've always been looking at these Timex Snoopy space watches, and there's one in particular that I really like. That's kind of it's a little more colorful than this one, but I actually saw this on Amazon for like $50, and so I picked it up, and it's a cool little watch. The whole back, I don't know if it's going to show up, but the entire back has like Indiglow. It's I don't know if it's that's not going to show up, but and all the numbers are printed on the crystal itself, so it's got some dimension to it. And when it glows in the dark, it's really cool. It's got the stars and all that, so it's a fun little watch. I put a different strap on it, and my daughter likes it. My 6-year-old daughter really likes it, so it'll be fun. When I need to not take myself so seriously, I'll throw that one on.
Now, Daniel said the Apple Watch won't let you activate with an iPhone, so it's a no-go for me. But didn't they change that?
I think the new one changes that.
I think the new one works without a phone, I believe. Yes.
I thought I heard that.
Because it does have cellular. But I don't know because I have an iPhone, so I really didn't even pay attention to that. So
gotcha.
The oxygen sensor can be really a game changer because most people who have obstructive sleep apnea have no idea that they have obstructive sleep apnea, and so that meaning that most people who don't breathe well while they're asleep are completely unaware of that.
Well, I'm not sure if this will measure it while you're sleeping. I believe you have to actually activate.
Oh, really?
Like you want to test for it, you have to actually open up the app and do it, and then it takes 15 seconds, and then you get the data.
Well,
I'm not sure if it's a constant measurement. From what I can tell.
If it could spot check you, once a minute, that would all of a sudden millions of people would be getting diagnosed with.
I don't think it does, because
problems.
When you do it, to tell you the truth, I can actually. You have to actually turn it on, and then you have to actually put your finger on the dial.
That's for EKG. Is it that for oxygen too?
Oh, was that the EKG?
Yeah, that's EKG, because EKG has to measure electrical conductivity from one arm to your other arm. So the arm that the watch is on is forming one contact, right? And then by putting your finger on, you're making a contact with your other arm, right? So then you can get conductivity from one arm to the other arm.
Oh, aren't you smart?
But oxygen is should be just the sensor on the back of the device. So I don't know, but
you might be right. Actually, here, I'm going to do one right now. You're right. I don't have to do anything
for oxygen.
It's doing it right now.
Yeah. If it can do it periodically through the night, it'll be a game changer. I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to keep your wrist in a upward facing position, it tells me, because it just failed.
Oh, okay.
And it takes 15 seconds, and then you rest it on a table or on your lap. So I don't think it just does it throughout the day.
Can you go down a little bit?
There you go. 98%.
Good.
Is that good?
That is good.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm COVID free.
So, yeah, do you like it?
I like the tech in it. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if I'm going to like wearing two watches or two things on my wrist.
So will it be a gym watch?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to get all the benefit from it if I only wear it at the gym. But it could be useful just for changing songs and stuff like that. So we'll see. I don't know.
That's the big dilemma right there. That do I want to wear two watches? Can't not wear my good watches. Do I want to wear two watches? And I struggled with that with the last generation of Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And it now sits in my 16-year-old son's desk drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had a experience with the Apple Watch, nor has it ever appealed to me. Not because I have this hard stance against something that's not mechanical, or I mean, then if I took that tact, then I wouldn't be wearing G-Shocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just never. I mean, the phone was fine, and that's what I would use it for. And that'd be just another way, or just to stay connected. And it's just that, that's enough. I don't need to stay that connected, but I do see the upside when it comes to fitness and overall health. You know what I mean? That alone, I would consider for that purpose.
I mean, I've had the Fitbits before, and I find I wear them for a few months, and then I kind of see where I'm at, and then the novelty wears off. So we'll see if the same thing happens with this one. But like I said, it basically cost me about $100 after my benefits covered the rest of it. So it's a low risk thing for me to try out. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to some real watches.
Okay, so talk about. I mean, like, I think the best watch of the day was Joe's, man. When you shared that picture with us earlier, it's awesome. I mean, I've seen pictures before, and obviously we talked about it for last couple weeks, especially. But man, I mean, that's a good looking watch, and I'll pull it up while you tell us about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this one I just honestly I got it was a really irresponsible purchase. I did sort of get it on a lark because I remember the headline about it almost a year ago that Louis Erard announced it, and I was like, oh, that's super cool. Like, there's Silberstein, haven't heard that name before, and it's a cool design. But I wrote it off almost instantaneously because they said limited edition, it's gonna come out in a few months. So I was like, this is not something I'm gonna track or stalk or anything like that. But it definitely it landed. It made a really good first impression, and they made two versions. This white dial version that I ended up getting, which is kind of like the conservative, I think, classical, Alain Silberstein style of watch. Perhaps the more stunning one, though, is the black one. They made this PVD coated steel case and black dial with white hour subdial version.
Yeah.
And that thing pops like hell. I mean, the hour subdial, the yellow minute hand, and they were clever. They chose this one as the one to enter into GPHG. And it's shortlisted now in the challenge category, and rightfully so. I think it's a cute thing, I think, and I think there's enough nostalgia among the GPHG jury where they might, seriously consider, giving Silberstein this one, because he's never won before, even though he's been in the industry for 3 or 4 decades. So it's pretty cool. It's just stupid fun. Like,
your timing was good because, like I said, they're all sold out now. I mean, and I don't know if that's just due to. I mean, they only made 178 of each, I think, each color, right? Which isn't a ton. But yeah, I looked today because as soon as you got it, I was like, oh man. And I'll be totally honest, when you ordered this thing, I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, that looks like a child's watch. And like, I was like blown away by it. But then, every once in a while, I just kept kind of looking at it, and, and then he'd send a picture and, oh, this is coming. And I was like, that's kind of cool, actually. Mm-hmm. And then it got to the point today where I was like, I'm going to go look to see if they have any more of these. And they're all sold out. But yeah, I love it.
It was luck of the draw because I think they made it in batches because there were a bunch of people who posted it on Instagram like several months ago, and then a dry spell, and then for some reason one of these ADs that I follow on Instagram posted a picture saying that we have these in stock, and I just jumped on the website just to look. Indeed, I couldn't find it in the website, but I just went back on Louis Erard, and they're a direct retailer as well from their website, and they just happen to have them. So I was like, oh hell, shit, might as well.
Yeah, you know what? Going back to Colin's point about when you first order the watch, I think now that and known you now for a few months, I think here, to whatever watch you bring up or whatever watch you pick or whatever watch you say you're interested in, I always pause and let that initial reaction go, because every time I'm proven wrong with that first thought is that, wow, I really like that watch. Joe is brilliant. You know what I mean?
He is.
His tastes are like, I'm like, wow, man, I wish I could, my brain worked that way, because, like Colin, when I first saw that watch, I was like, okay, I mean, I could, it's okay, but now, like I too, I checked the website. I would have totally pulled the trigger on it. If it was available. Yeah. Oh, well, of course.
So, Joe, did you consider the black one? You like the black one, so.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I love the black one.
I think it's gorgeous.
How did you choose?
I'll be honest. I have. We didn't talk about it a couple of days ago when we did favorites, goals, and grails. But I do have a goal of a blacked out watch, and I just don't want two of them. Yeah, that's not
the one. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like both of them. I think yours is super cool, and it's a
little more subtle.
It's different. I love the blue indices, around the outside. They look like capsules in a way. I don't know how it looks in the hand, but the if you can zoom in, Rob, if you go to it, the white one though, yeah.
Let me see. How come? Where is it? Bear with me.
Maybe if you go to the top, all the way up.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was already in it. Okay.
And then zoom in all the way. See how they look kind of like capsules around the outside? They're sort of rounded.
Yeah, they're kind of these lozenge or capsular shape.
Little pips.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, look at that second hand. I mean, that's just freaking
very
awesome.
3D.
Yeah, it's funky.
And you never see is that that's the
power
hand?
The yellow is seconds hand.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is a power reserve?
Blue is the minutes.
Yeah.
It's the power, and then the hours.
This is hour here. Yeah.
You almost never see a counterbalance that long. I've seen a couple of Breguets that have counterbalances that long, or whatever you call it on a hand, but it's really neat.
Yes, man. Yes, I'm compensating with this watch too.
So Joe, what is the thickness on this watch? Because I'm just interested in knowing why. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because typically some of these regulators that I've seen lately have been based on the 6498.
That's and AB's here. He was asking if it's powered, if it's 7001 powered. Indeed, it is. It's Pissot 7001 with the Erard regulator module on it. And despite the caliber having the added module, I think it measures just a hair under 9 millimeters.
Wow.
So it fits pretty flat, pretty nicely on the wrist.
I like how you were trying to peel this off, and
did you not know about the printing on it?
I guess I forgot about it, and I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, that looks like a sticker." So I just kept digging it out.
They went to the Grand Seiko School of Design, I guess.
I kind of hate that. I guess because it's just a 7001.
Yeah.
But kind of a shame, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Louis Erard makes regulators for a while now, right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, but I could pull them up.
There's some good looking ones. I like the green one that they have.
Share this.
It's pretty sharp. It's like almost like a fume dial green.
This is you got a blue one here.
Yeah.
And a black one, I guess, right there.
Yeah.
This one right here.
I like that one. Yeah. It's a sharp looking watch.
It is.
Yeah.
I still like Joe's better though.
Yeah, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's more special.
Yeah.
And this one, is this also powered by the 7001?
I would imagine. Yep.
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah, there goes. Yeah.
I want a regulator.
Well, I had that Steinhardt regulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that I tried to sell, and now it's back.
You still have it?
Well, so the deal was, what happened with it, I had sold it, but on its travels, there was a screw on the back that just broke off.
Damn.
Oh, jeez.
And so I took it back and I sent it to Nomad Watches, where I bought it from, and they're fixing it. I mean, I'm out $112 or $15 shipping it, and then I'm going to sell it again, and I'll probably lose a little bit more money, but lesson learned. But it cool looking watch. And obviously, we talked about homages a couple weeks ago, and it's an homage to the Chrono Swiss, and has a 6498 that's decently regulated for what you pay for, and yeah, I mean, regulators are cool.
Now that I sold my Gorilla, I need something that tells time in a different way than a regular watch. So a regulator is one way to do it.
Yeah.
Or a Gerald Genta.
Something to keep me from getting dementia.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A little mental exercise.
Gerald Genta with a jump in hour and retrograde minutes and seconds.
That too. Yeah. No, I'm in the reducing money in watches phase right now. I was thinking that a little off topic, but Colin and Marcus talk about anxiety when they have too many watches. And so mine is anxiety when too much of my family's total money is in my watch collection.
Fair enough.
So whether it's 50 watches or 4 watches, if more than a certain amount of our total money is in my watch collection, I start to feel like that's not a good thing.
Pretty much the same thing, honestly.
There's some similarity there. Yeah.
Hey guys, on the chat, let us know if you have picked up something recently as well in the last few days. And knowing us and those who are on the chat, I'm sure there's somebody who's picked up something today. It's got something delivered today, or in the last couple of days, or planning on it. So I'll jump into mine. I got that Guinand fun little watch here. Let me share my screen. Finally came in today, and this exact same combination with this leather strap and the syringe hands, which only came in this Klassik version of the Series 40. There's about 6 or 8 of them, I think, 6 to 8, and they all are slightly different. Some of them are more legible. They claim the numbers are more bolder on the subdials. I like this particular one because it reminded me, the syringe hands. I had just reviewed a Zin 104 a month ago, and I know there's a lot of watches that have syringe hands, but these syringe hands reminded me of it, and I didn't have any. I didn't really have any I was indifferent to syringe hands before. Syringe style hands until I saw that 104, and I'm like, man, I think I really like them. And so when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is this version is the one I'm going to pick, and it's got the 77 Devagio 7750, which I've always wanted to add. I had a watch years ago, the Tourneau, that had a 7750 in it, but that was the watch I got before my first marriage that didn't work out, so that watch had to go. But I finally got the 7750 back. I don't know. I just have this sort of like small obsession with the 7750 and having one in my collection. And the watch is great, man. I mean, the dimensions are really good.
How big is it?
Wrist. It's 40.6 right here. The lug to lug is 48. So that 40 and 48 number is really good for me.
Yeah.
39, 48, 39, 47, 40, 48. That is the sweet spot for my wrist. And yeah, it's thick on the 15, but I mean, you know, there are thicker watches out there. I've had thicker watches. So the thickness doesn't really bother me so much. And it feels rather light as well. It just fits really good, man. And it's got 200 meters water resistance, which I thought it had 100.
That's awesome.
But it has 200 meters water resistance, man.
Are they screw down? What do you call it?
No, not screw down pushers. Screw down crown. But I'm sure if I, you know, activate the chrono, I don't want to get near water.
It's beautiful and super legible. It's, for a chronograph.
Here's some of the other ones. This is the Klassik. This is the one I picked up. But you have some other ones here that have a little splash of color on there, and you know, just subtle differences.
I like the syringe hands. It completes the look.
It does, and so you know, very, very happy with this one. You know? And I think I'm good for a little while. And I guess maybe at least
that was not convincing.
This is a segue to
the question.
The second part of the stream is that you know, and I think I had mentioned to you guys earlier that you know, if I can add that G-Shock titanium one day soon, I'll feel like that. I would feel like I am good for a while. I'm, of course, you know, I'm good until I'm not good for a while, you know, and so who knows how long that is. And so let me segue to go back around the horn to Joe. Now that you got this great watch that came in today, is there something next on the horizon? Like imminently, do you think, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about like a goal. I'm talking about like, is there something that you could see in the next few months that you can pick up? Or are you satisfied for now and just kind of happy?
Yeah, pretty happy right now. First, I'm sorry I didn't jump in sooner, but gotta say as well, I was looking forward to seeing you this evening, digging through the website of I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of the company, the website, the chrono you got. But I love it. I love looking at all their models. It actually, as much as I love Sin, what this one reminded me of was the warm and fuzzies that I got when I first went on the Handheart website as well. I love those chronos. I mean, for some reason, it kind of reminded me of these German style, you know, 7750 based chronos that are so cool looking. So I love the watch that you got today.
Oh man, thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, Daniel, I'm looking at maybe. I'm not really too picky. I mean, I like the original black. I also like the original camo. I mean, I like the blue camo. I mean, I prefer the original camo. I kind of like that look, but we'll see. It'll pop up on my radar one of these days, and I might have to pull the trigger. Hey, Random Rob, how are you? Joe, please continue.
No, pretty much all set. I think I was telling you guys earlier, you know, until next spring, for my wedding anniversary, you know, my wife and I are kind of working on something together with Rebecca and Craig Struthers over in Birmingham, England. So they're putting something together specifically for her, but since it's a 36 millimeter case size, I'm definitely going to steal it as often as I can.
You guys have the same size wrist or no?
I'm 6.5. She's 6 1/4, so pretty darn close.
That's close.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome watch. I love how they take those old Omega movements and just make them into works of art. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes, you know, Joe, send me a link to that when you have a chance later or tomorrow to that group. I would like to take a look at that. I'm sure you have posted some stuff, but you know, sometimes it can get lost in our chat that we have offline. Colin, what about you, man?
Well, I've got something in the mail. I I had a quick trigger finger when some GA 2100 G-Shocks came available, the all black ones, which I've had that watch before actually. So I've had the red one, I've had the black one. I now have the green one. I ended up selling the black one on eBay because the prices were just so silly that I was like, I'm going to throw this up there. So I actually sold it on Fleabay there and made some money on it, which, probably is a little bit of a jerk thing to do, but oh well. And then, so I got another one of those, the all black one. And other than that, I am.
What about the Gravity the Gravity Master? Is that what it's called? The G-Shock.
I like that one.
It's a pretty good looking watch, man. I've been looking at it for the last couple days.
As you guys are aware, I ordered a I got a sweet deal on a Mudmaster, with the carbon fiber case with the quad sensor. I got it like half off or something. And then I got an email a couple days later, and they said, "Oh, your order's canceled. We're sold out." And I was like, jeez, fine." And you know what? It really bummed me out. I must have really wanted that thing because it bummed me out a lot. But now they came out with these Gravity Masters. There's like a red, a blue, and a black.
Yeah,
I like the blue one.
Yeah,
I'll probably wait on that though, honestly. But other than that, I'm honestly thinking about selling like 3 watches and getting a longer one. I'm really thinking about it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Flipper's Pit?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I'm going to do something with, my higher end stuff, I got to really do something because I really like my collection right now.
There's a lot of chaos cheerleaders.
Sell them all.
Burn it down, baby.
All right. So all right, here, a mini Flipper's Pit. So here's what I'm thinking about doing is selling my blue stick date just with fluted bezel.
Oh man.
My Apollo 8 Dark Side of the Moon and my Glasuta original Panamatic Lunar. And that would give me basically a straight swap for a Grand Longo 1, either a rose gold with white or silver dial, or perhaps white gold with blue dial. So I'm thinking about that. I'm also thinking about a Vacheron Overseas, but you know what? The date just in the Vacheron Overseas, I know the Overseas is a better watch, but they kind of accomplish the same thing, and I'm not sure that I want to give up a bunch of stuff just to be yeah. You guys have no idea. I've done some stuff, but so I'm kind of thinking about that.
It's a tough one because it's not like you've gotten to the point where you don't like those watches or you've cooled on those watches.
Exactly.
You love those watches.
I love. Yeah. Okay, the Panamatic.
So that makes it tough.
The Panamatic Lunar, I could see myself getting rid of because, as much as people say it's a great watch, and it is a great watch, it is not a Longo one. And as a super watch geek, it didn't scratch the itch. It's a very nice watch. For the money, it's beautiful. It's all the watch I should ever need, but I'm irrational. Yeah. So I could see myself selling that just because it's not what I want. But I love the Apollo 8 and I love the date just a lot. So if I'm going to do something, I got to do something pretty crazy, I think, or pretty big. I got to really upgrade if I'm going to do something. I wanted to sell my Apollo 8 when they released that stupid Alingi, stupid knockoff Alingi. Oh, I couldn't stand that release. I'll be honest, it's not making me sell it. I love that watch. Honestly, I wear it a lot. But we've been talking too about, 20 years from now, is it going to have staying power? Is it going to be a watch that is still there and still makes sense? And not sure if like the Apollo 8 would. It could look a little dated. It could, and not that I really keep watches for 20 years. I have one watch that's been, been a long-term watch really. But pouring my heart out here.
Hey, Amin, are you a Patreon for Bruce Williams? You contribute to?
I am. Yeah.
He just reserved
don't
a.
Don't say it. No.
Okay. All right.
Because I think that I don't think that he. I think he said that was only for Patreons right now.
Okay. All right.
I caught you just in time there.
You just totally did. Yeah. All right. Loose lips sink ships.
But he has been talking publicly about shrinking his collection to get a Grail.
Well, this is. I mean, look. I mean, this is an interesting topic, and I brought it up the other day. There is this trend for YouTube watch enthusiast creators and others. I don't know. It's something in the air, right? So maybe in the beginning of the pandemic, people were buying watches because they were home all the time, and now the last month or 6 weeks, you've been seeing people saying, "Well, I think I'm going to thin out the herd a little bit here." You know what I mean? So have we bought too many watches and then out of sheer boredom, and now we're thinning it, or are we thinning it down? As first, like in Colin's case, maybe getting something.
I think there's
more significant.
I think there's two things with that. Like in my case, I overspent. So I got my Ulysse Nardin perpetual calendar and then the Bulgari, and so I had just this. All right, I gotta put some money back in the bank account moment. But I think that there's also this insidious leveling up part of watch collecting, where first of all, when you go, okay, I can't imagine ever spending $3,000 on a watch, but when you do, right, then it's definitely you're on your way to can't imagine spending whatever $5,000 or whatever, and then there's also, you could get an awesome watch, but then you think like there's an even better, you want to go to another level, right? Yeah. I'm not everybody, and I actually try to resist that, but I think it's something that people often fall into, right? Because you can enjoy. There's nothing that says that you can't enjoy a watch at a certain price as much as you can enjoy a watch at a higher price. But there's sometimes this internal or external pressure to level up.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel the leveling up, but sometimes when I level up, I also start wanting to level down, right? Because like other watches, and maybe some of those watches that I like are, you wouldn't consider them as leveling up. I think what's happening with me, right, is I have too much time in my hands, right? So I'm constantly looking and seeing, and there's so many great watches out there. I have guilt, right? Because I am spending money on something that I really, really don't need, right? If I was going to spend money on something that I need, the G-Shock will be fine, and that's it, right? It fulfills everything I need. It's rugged. It tells the time. But I think what's happening with me, and why I go through these periods of ramping up the collection and then selling off some of the collection, is my tastes are changing constantly. And I want to get to a point where it's not so much turnover and chaos, and I don't know if I'll ever get there. But I think that's what's happening with me.
I'll be honest. I feel like I'm getting there. I went through a period where I bought a lot of watches, sold them after a short amount of time, and I really got to get in tune with what I liked, what I didn't like. Now I think I have a very focused, well, maybe not very focused, but a pretty focused idea of where I'd like to go, what watches I know that I'll like, which ones, I probably won't. I think it's worthwhile that everyone goes through a period of, the hyper growth and then the consolidation, and, you get to learn yourself as a collector, and it's fun, honestly. Right.
I mean, so is this part of collecting, watches for
I
most
think
of
so.
us. Ramping it up, consolidating down, possibly ramping up and consolidating down, then leveling up, then maybe leveling down. I guess, we're all different, right? But it seems like lately it's been more pronounced. Maybe there's more people making videos on it, talking about it, That's why it seems to me. Yeah.
You started talking to us, Bobby. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
I think we all do that. But then, the guy I just sold my gorilla to, so this is part of my shrinking now, is I sold my gorilla and I'm going to be selling my Omega. But the guy I just sold my gorilla to added it to his over 100 watches collection.
Yeah.
I
could never do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's a whole different way of doing it.
Yeah.
Rob's saying, what if what you have now is enough? Why do we still look for the one that'll complete? So I don't ever look for the one that will complete, because I know that's not going to happen.
No, we're all sick in the head, man.
We're sick in the head.
Yeah.
And enjoying the journey, right? So it's not. It's,
yeah.
The point
this
is not
fun, right? Yeah.
The point is not even to complete. The point is to enjoy, learn new things, socialize. At least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, some of the most fun I have is getting to know people like you guys, honestly, and being able to talk about watches and see what you guys are buying, what you guys are thinking, and what you're flipping, all that kind of stuff. So
getting other people to burn down their collection and start again.
Yeah. Well, did you see the chat box when I started talking about selling stuff? They erupted. Like they wanted a pound of flesh.
Lego one.
Yeah.
Sell it all.
Burn it down. I'm guilty of it too. Yeah.
So what are we talking like size now of our collections? Like, can you put a number on it on the top of your head? Like where are you, Joe, where are you at in collection wise? Like how many watches technically?
Ooh, I just have I have one.
Joe's eyes are rolling around doing the math.
He's like carry a couple of the ceiling tiles up there.
Like significant figures. Carry the one.
I only have a box, and it's one box that my wife got me for my birthday. But it's kind of, I'm spilling over with stuff that I'm too lazy to put on Fleabay. So I think I've got like 12 right now, where I really should only have like 5 or 6. Yeah.
This is the part of the chat where we all justify why certain ones don't count as part of the collection.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Why should anything change?
Yeah.
Colin, you're down a little bit, right?
I am down actually. So I've gone through actually much like Amin's doing right now, where he just overspent and felt like, geez, I got too much skin in the game and I got to pare it down a bit. So I sold, I think I sold like 4 or 5 watches within like 3 weeks. It was probably like $30,000 worth of watches I sold in like 3 weeks. It was pretty sweet. My bank account was like, all right. But I'm down to basically 5 good watches and then a bunch of G-Shocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Amin,
you
probably about,
it's been fluid now a little bit lately, huh?
Yeah, but probably somewhere around 15. I mean, I count my
everything.
I count everything. I mean, everything that I wear pretty often I count. And so probably about 15. I'm comfortable with 15. The beginning of the year, I probably had 30 something, but 15 I think is around where I want to be. Yeah. See, I just want my total. I just want my total money in that 15 to be lower than a certain amount, a little bit lower than where it is now.
I would rather have like 3 to 5. But a whole bunch of money in those, then 15 and the same amount of money in 15. That's just me. But
I like having lots of different watches and taking out something I haven't had in a while. Where are all the watches going? We're all selling. Oh, there's people buying.
Listen, I have
the expanding phase when we're in the contracting phase.
In the back of my head, I honestly think that right now is a beautiful time to sell because people have been locked up, they're back working, they're finding that, maybe they bought things. But personally, I think COVID's ramping back up, right? Much bigger base this time. I think it could be worse if it keeps going this direction, and especially after the initial COVID thing, I think people may be really trying to sell, and there might be some deals to pick up in the coming months. So if you were to sell now and kind of get ahead of it, get some cash ready to go, you might be able to pick up something that you really want at a discount in 3 months or so. That's my thinking. It's, totally, I don't want to get into any of that, debate, but
yeah,
that is actually in the back of my head. I kind of think that might happen. So
that's depressing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk about mine. I have about 9 in the
Who invited this guy?
Debbie Downer. So I have about 9, and I'm more towards what Colin, his thoughts. 3 to 5, a lot of dough. Mine is more like 6 to 8. I'm not really thinking of monetary figures. But 6 to 8 makes me comfortable. I'm at 9, and I'm actually okay with the 9 that I have at the moment. I find that I wear, well, except for like the GP and the Panerai, which I don't wear as much. I've had them for a really long time. I find that I wear those other watches a lot. So whether it be the G-Shocks, and I do count them in my collection, even though I don't count them in my collection. But for this argument or this discussion, I am. And now I got this one. I'll be wearing the hell out of this one a lot because it feels a lot tougher than my El Primero. So I'm pretty good right now. Like I said, I would love to add a titanium G-Shock, and I think that would make me really happy for at least a week or 2, and then I'll be looking.
Colin, you said like 3 or 4 with a lot of money. I guess what I'm saying is that 90% of my money could be in, let's say, 4 or 5 watches, but I can get a lot of enjoyment. Like you have G-Shocks that you're not counting that 3 or 4, and you may not necessarily. It may not be a goal of yours to like have no G-Shocks, right? And so for me, that is like, I have a couple like really inexpensive vintage watches, like a Berthier, Bulova or Pulsar, whatever it is, that I enjoy. So, but it's not like I'm dividing that money between 15. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
No, I understand that. Yeah. It's it all depends. I think it's good to have inexpensive watches along with some expensive ones, but you just get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 4 to 6 expensive ones, and then 10 inexpensive ones or something. That maybe that's too many. I don't know. That's about where I fall.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what the number is, to be honest with you. All that I know is if I have expensive ones sitting in the box wasting away, I don't like that. So that's why I can't have a lot of those. So
yeah, I mean, I'm envious of the kind of collector who has has a ton of dough, right, and can afford to get multiples of these watches, and then be fine with it sitting on a case and treating it more like a work of art, a painting hanging on the wall. I'm like you, Colin. I would get anxious that I wouldn't be wearing it, and it's sitting there. And I think that's where a lot of some of my decision making goes to.
Sure.
I probably do a lot of overthinking. And Daniel has I have a Wolf 15 box. And I think that's too many. I want to get down to a 10 box. And I got to tell you, I don't know if this is what he was alluding to, but I have a 12 watch box. I have a box that holds 12 watches. And when I have like 6 in there, I get anxious. Like I need to what I need to do, is to get like maybe 1 6 and maybe 2 6s as opposed to 1 12.
Dude, I have a 5, a 6, a 8, and a 12, and I just I use which one I can fill because,
Wow, you guys are That's intense. So you change boxes based on making sure.
That makes perfect sense to me.
I threw away 2 12s today because they were ratty.
Can I just give my therapist a video of this?
Wolf just had a huge sale that
yeah,
Colin
exactly.
tipped me off to.
Yeah.
So I picked up an 8 from them that for like 80% off, 70% off.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 70 off. Yeah.
And so now I have 2 8s. I threw away 2 like really falling apart 12s today. And so I'm not going over 2 8s basically.
Right now. I would love to sell my 12. I would love to sell my 12, but the shipping would cost more than what the box is worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's almost like I got to give it away and get like 2 5s or 2 6s because I can mentally handle. I can always put 1 6 away in a closet. You know, if it's empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bought really bad 12s on Amazon and they literally fell apart like through normal use. They just
I bought mine on Amazon. I paid like $31 for it, and it's perfectly fine. You know.
Yeah, my 12 is from Amazon, and my 12's from Amazon. It's actually really good.
Oh, good. Maybe I'm hard on my boxes.
Yeah, what are you're not wearing them, are you?
Because you're constantly flipping, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you know, we're here almost an hour, and I think
that's it. Oh wow.
Yeah, almost right. I was thinking half hour. I always think half hour, and it always ends up being.
Let's go 2, man. Let's go 2. We can find something to talk about.
Well, my little guy woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning this morning, so I'm pretty beat. But thanks for joining me tonight, sort of last minute, and throw everybody who's on the chat. Thanks for showing up as well and giving us your comments. We appreciate that. You know, I look forward to hearing what's going on in the chat because it's usually fuel for the conversation as well. And a really great conversation tonight with you guys. And congratulations to Joe and Colin for your new pieces. And Amin, I'm sure something's going to be coming in soon one of these days. It always is.
Well, he just got the Bulgari, right?
Yeah.
That's like all news in our
that's all good. Yeah. No, he's working on his next one. I'm sure.
No.
He's already scratched it.
Well, guys, you know, Amin, do you want to plug anything?
I have my Instagram handle up on the screen. That if you guys want to check me out, that'd be cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Colin, anything?
Yeah, same. Follow me on Instagram at _watches.
Don't bother following me on Instagram. I'll do you guys
your lugs and jugs.
The chat.
Follow lugs and jugs. And leave in the comments if we should get lugs and jugs on the stream. Both of them on the stream.
Yeah.
I was watching Tennessee Mike did a unboxing today of a watch that he won, a Casio that he won, and he started out with the tight lugs and jugs angle on his chest. I was thinking because he wasn't showing his face at all.
Oh man, he's the best. I love
Mike. Lugs and jugs.
Yeah,
that's the Instagram to follow. Honestly,
ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Signing off.
Have a good night.
Thanks.